Daniel Franco, where did you go?
Daniel Franco, where did you go?
Daniel Franco, where did you go?
Daniel Franco, where did you go? I barely got to know ya.
For those unaware, Project Runway was a reality show that debuted on Bravo in late 2004, in which fashion designers competed for money and glory and other stuff. Of all the reality shows I used to watch with my aunt growing up, Project Runway might be the one I was the most engaged with. I know it's weird, especially if you know me outside of my channel, because fashion is so out of my wheelhouse. Like, the fact that I'm not wearing a t-shirt or a sweatshirt right now is because I just had a job interview, but whatever. But when I was a kid, there was a minute where I wanted to be a fashion designer someday, and it all came from watching Project Runway. I would sit watching it with a pad of paper and draw out my ideas for each episode's themes. Honestly, kind of wished I was doing it while watching this episode. I even got really into making clothes for my Bratz dolls. They weren't great, but you could say that I made it work. And you could make my channel work by liking, commenting, and subscribing. I have also started a Discord server, so if you want to chat with me, the link is in my description below. I'd love to have you join me. Season 1 of Project Runway starts with Heidi Klum explaining what's at stake here.
The winner will receive a spread in Elle magazine, a mentorship with the Banana Republic design team, and $100,000 to start their own line.
All sounds pretty cool, but I'm pretty sure there was some weird, contract fuckery going on with whoever won this season. Man, the more I hear about this Harvey Weinstein guy, the more I think he's a real jerk. After auditioning several unknown or up-and-coming fashion designers, our judges have whittled it down to 12. These 12 include, but are not limited to, Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph, the vampire Lestat, and emo Kate Goslin. The 12 finalists arrive at Parsons School of Design, where they'll be competing. As we meet our contestants, we see a little more of their personalities. You have Jay, who's absolutely hilarious, and I remember my aunt being obsessed with him.
Can you believe these made me unload their luggage?
You have Daniel Franco, who gives off real try-hard vibes, at least to me anyway. And then there's Wendy, who at first seems really sweet and motherly.
Number one, we have to take care of each other. We have to have our core 4 that we watch out for, because you cannot care about 11 other people, but you can care about 3.
But from what I remember, she was sort of the villain of this season. It's going to be interesting seeing how that all pans out again, because she really comes off pretty great in this episode. After the designers choose their models, who are also sort of competing in the show, Heidi Klum hosts a little rooftop party so everyone can get to know each other better.
I can't wait till the bitch moments start coming out.
Honestly, that's me in every reality show I've ever watched. Jay really spoke for the people here, I think. The first challenge of this season, and of the show in general, is titled Innovation. The designers are told they'll be designing a glamorous dress for a night out on the town. Simple, right? Pedestrian, even. Of course it's not simple. This is a mid-2000s reality TV show. What were you thinking? Passing fabric store after fabric store, Tim Gunn leads the designers to a supermarket.
This is our destination. The supermarket?
And tells them that this is where they'll be finding their materials. The designers scamper around the store and struggle to find something to make a dress out of. Well, not all of them are struggling. Mario has the genius idea to buy a bunch of shower curtains, as well as some Q-tips for his own personal use. And he's out of the store in 10 minutes. The rest of the designers use their time wisely to buy things like aluminum foil and trash bags and crawfish.
Okay, my fish is getting stinky. Do you have a freezer here?
Interesting idea, Vanessa. Feeling very nervous and frustrated by this challenge is Austin Scarlet. And let me just butt in right here now. There are so many names that I'm just gonna have to use first and last because that's just who I am. So I apologize if that gets annoying over time, but can't stop, won't stop. Austin Scarlet, who bought corn, potato chip bags, and duct tape, feels hoist with his own petard, so to speak, as the designing starts. There's a lot of shucking and weaving and so many tiny little things he needs to get done that even I started to get overwhelmed for him. Luckily, Mario just had to stitch together some shower curtains, so he has plenty of time to give Austin the pep talk that he needs.
You just don't like it right now because, look, you have so much around it and it's not clean.
Speaking of Mario, everyone is annoyed by his dress.
You know, Mario, shower curtain, and I'm done.
We were all working. Mario's like sitting on the table, sleeping, taking cigarette breaks.
Is Mario smarter than me because he bought a shower curtain and he made it in 15 minutes?
Me personally, I'm of two minds. On one hand, he did just sort of half-ass it. On the other hand, work smarter, not harder, right? What do you think, though? Let me know in the comments. The other person annoying the designers is Daniel Franco. Like I said earlier, it just comes off like he's trying way too hard, like he feels like he needs to present as an artiste.
I believe that all these materials have their own beautiful spiritual quality. It's very amateurish, with no true direction and no sense of purpose or style.
Daniel's approach is so like Bob Barker.
Great progress. I'm imbuing the spirits of Picasso and Marcel Duchamp.
What do we have next? We have a fashion challenge, and it's gonna be great. He's nice. He has an endearing story, but damn it, he hasn't heard this shit. He is.
Next is one of my favorite parts of any episode of this show, and that is when Tim Gunn shows up to check on everyone's progress and tell them to say it with me, make it work. While speaking with Daniel Franco, Tim explains how seductive he is.
Daniel, okay, you've made great progress.
Thank you, Tim. My theory is that anyone can be elegant at any time. Stop thinking, find the purity.
This is seduction about Daniel. When you're within about 3 feet of him, you believe. But then when you step back, you look at what he's done, you ask yourself, what is that?
And then, shocking everyone, especially Tim Gunn, Daniel tells him to get out of his way so he can finish his design.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I love how Daniel just brushed Tim off, saying that, listen, Tim, I gotta get back to work, man. I'm sorry, you wasted my time.
It's kind of funny to watch Tim Gunn short circuit in this moment. The next morning, Star is having a bit of a crisis. She's really worried about her dress, and honestly, I can see why. After having a little time to put the finishing touches on their designs, the models arrive to get ready for the runway. Except for Kara San's model, Morgan. Morgan is so late that Kara actually gets desperate enough to go out onto the street to source a new model in case she doesn't show up. When Morgan finally does arrive, she reveals that her mom was out of town and she usually wakes her up, so Morgan overslept, and Tim Gunn gives her what for?
Morgan? Yeah. This is really bad. I know. Really bad. And poor Kara is crashed and burned. She's out on the street, literally looking for a model.
After learning that she's been let go from her modeling agency because of this, Wendy has a really sweet moment where she comforts the sobbing Morgan until Kara San comes back from the street to collect her and paint her. After the models are sent to hair and makeup, they hit the runway to show off their designs to the judges.
One day you're in, and the next day you're out.
Our regular judges are Heidi Klum, fashion designer Michael Kors, Elle Magazine creative director Nina Garcia, and our guest judge is Patricia Field, who was the costume designer for Sex and the City. Keep that in mind. Since this is my video, I'm just gonna tell you which looks I loved, which looks I hated, and which ones I was ambivalent on. I loved Vanessa's dress. I think it had a super cool look to it. If I could pull it off, I totally would try. Austin Scarlet's was also really pretty, even after his corn husks shriveled overnight because he forgot to refrigerate them. And I also thought Mario's was beautiful. But he also took the easy way out, so it doesn't really feel like I should give him that credit. I liked Jay's dress a lot better when she took the jacket off, and Robert's model looked like she was having the time of her life on the runway. Kara San, Kevin, Nora, and Alexandra's dresses were all pretty cool, but I don't really have that much to say about them. As for the ones I hated, oh boy. Daniel Franco's model did not even try to sell that trash bag dress for a second. And Stars was like a bad 2009 Lady Gaga costume. And while I think it was nice that Wendy was trying to pay homage to her model's Brazilian heritage, what on earth was that candy merkin? We then hear the judges' thoughts about the looks. Nina Garcia was flummoxed by Wendy's lack of clothes. Michael Kors loved Nora's dress. And Heidi asks Star what we're all wondering.
We have not heard so much about your Star. Do you want to explain a little bit what you were thinking?
I didn't like Stars either. I think it was like totally expected. Get some tinfoil.
Make a party dress.
It's like the garbage bag dress.
And yeah, I agree that Star's dress was awful, but I thought it was pretty bold of Patricia to be so harsh on it when it looks exactly like something Carrie Bradshaw would wear. As much as I loved Vanessa's dress, I'm really glad that Austin Scarlet is the one who wins this episode, because his was pretty awesome, and he also had the benefit of like, oh shit, I think I fucked this up, and didn't. So I like that. I like a good underdog story, I guess, if you can describe Austin Scarlet as an underdog, whatever. Star and Daniel end up in the bottom two, and even though I already knew who was going home, I was really hoping that I would be wrong and it would end up being Star, but I guess she got lucky that the judges thought Daniel's butcher paper jacket and trash bag dress were too boring for them. I'm no expert, though. So that was Season 1, Episode 1 of Project Runway. I had so much fun covering this, and I hope you had fun watching it with me. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like and leave a comment below. It's so helpful, and you will be in my heart forever. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have at least 300 by the end of the year. Maybe more like 500 by the end of the year, whatever. I've got a bunch of videos just like this, and I'm excited to make so many more. If you like this video, you might also like my Flavor of Love one. Or, hell, maybe you'll like my Trading Spouses videos. Those seem to do pretty well. And don't forget to join me next time when I watch something else. Auf Wiedersehen.